My worst ever guest. Jesus, where do we start? Listen, in this game, you're going to get bad guests. There's no doubt about it. It's part of the game. You can't get emotionally invested in these properties, and it's really important that you focus on the numbers, but make sure you've got everything, systems and processes done behind the scenes to protect yourselves. Just before we dive into this episode, I just want to remind you that Room22propertyclub.com is sponsored by iPrac, the global certification for short-term rental hosts. If you haven't checked out either, head over to both websites if you are wanting to be serious about your short-term rental game. So back to the topic of today, so our worst guests ever. Typically the party guests are the worst, the weekenders as I call them. Tends to happen in the larger houses that we have, so your 4, 5, 6 bed houses, you end up with a lot of people going into them. And I don't mind if someone just got carried away, they got a little drunk and it was an accident. I'm okay with that. It happens. We've all been there. We've done it. And, we make stupid mistakes. Those guests do tend to cough up. They do tend to pay, and it's not a problem. They accept responsibility, and the damage is never really that bad. The worst guest I've ever had was actually recently, and that was £4,500 worth of damage, and it was malicious damage. I just can't live with that. It's something that I'll go to town with. I'll take them to court, and I'm very, very, very ruthless with it. And I'll call the police. We do a full prosecution on them, because malicious damage is just vandalism. It's just disrespect. And we had that one recently where whatever happened in the house, things got carried away. But just breaking doors down for no reason, pulling picture frames off, smashing them and leaving them in a pile, clearly smashing the TV on purpose. That's just criminal behaviour, and that's what we cannot and we must stamp out within the business. But having said that, having hosted hundreds of thousands of guests over the years, only recently that was probably the worst. And we got paid, so it's fine. The property was shut down for a week. They had to pay for it because we charged them for that. And we managed to decorate the property and get it turned around, because I've got a really good team behind the scenes. If you haven't seen the video on that yet, I would encourage you to check it out. It shows you the full process of how we protect ourselves and how we make sure we get the money, and if we don't get the money, how we then go through the court process to make sure we end up getting the money. Because everything we do is, it's a business transaction, and we need to make sure that, we're going to be covered in the event that these things can happen, and they will happen. I work on the sort of Pareto law, 80-20 rule. I believe 20% of guests will complain no matter what. I mean, we've got the Burj Al Arab over there, 7-star hotel. I can guarantee you they get bad reviews. I can guarantee you there are some people that are not satisfied with what is going on there, the experience they're getting, the service levels. It's a hospitality game. We're no different, whether we're renting AirBNBs in Dubai, in UK, in Europe, it does not matter. Holiday homes, villas, whatever you're doing in the hospitality game is a service. And I am a big believer that 20% of guests, it's probably less than that in all fairness, but it's a good barometer. So if you're scoring 80% or more on your review scores, I think you're actually doing a good job, especially if you've got lots and lots and lots of stuff, because you're not going to be able to please everybody. Everybody has different expectations for the amount of money that they're spending, because that amount of money means something different to them in terms of value, and so on and so forth. Obviously, you get the people who don't want to pay for anything, so they'll book a cheaper stay, but they're expecting a Burj Al Arab type experience. It doesn't work hand in hand, but those people are just, that's the way they're wired, and therefore they turn up and they're disappointed. So it's horses for courses, but in the main, you've got to protect yourself, and you will get bad guests and you will get bad reviews. You just got to react to them. You've got to try and be customer focused at all times. So, apologize, respond to all your reviews. It shows empathy. It shows that you care. It shows that you're doing something about it. Tell them what you've done about it. So, we apologize that, the boiler didn't work. We've just had it replaced after you've left. So then the next guest that reads that, who might be booking, thinks, okay, bad review, but they've solved the problem. There's loads of little things you can do to strengthen your business, and it's an evolving game all the time. But the main thing is we're dealing with human capital, people who are going to get drunk, they're going to do stupid things, and you've got to expect that. So you've got to make your properties as bulletproof as you possibly can, but you've also got to expect the worst. And if that worst does happen, you then need to have processes in place to make sure that you're not financially at a loss, And as I said earlier, there's a video on the channel which explains exactly how to do that. And and by doing so, you can move forward, you can stay profitable, and your business becomes healthy and continues to kick on. So that's my worst guess. And as always, if you do want to get involved further with room22propertyclub.com, just head over there now and get your 14 days free access. Comment, like, and share. And thank you again for listening and watching the episode.